Welcome again to Down the Track. I'm Rob Oberg and with me is Jared McLean. We're in the VIP lounge at the Alpha Hotel in Sydney within sight of Sydney Dragway. We're getting ready for the AC Delco East Coast Thunder. But today we're talking everything Pro Slammer. And Jared, it got underway in a big fashion.
It absolutely exploded onto the scene. The opening event for the 400 Thunder season happened up in Darwin, Nitro up north. Current points look a little bit like this. Gary Phillips on 107 points. Paul Mohayet on 85 points. John Zapier, our man from WA, on 78 points. And Scott McLean on 66 points. We're here with three incredible Pro Slammer drivers. Paul Mohayet, you're here as part of the Moits Mac Pro Slammer team. It's awesome to have you here on Down the Track. How are you feeling about this weekend?
Yeah, thanks a lot. Pretty good. We tested a couple of days this week and everything went pretty well, so I guess we'll see what happens on race day.
Frankie the Madman Taylor, we'll talk about how you got that nickname in just a few moments, but awesome to have you here on the panel show.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all having us.
And Ben Bray, recent star of Octane Island, just give us a brief rundown. How was that experience?
Yeah, it was pretty cool being on set for a whole week down there, and it was like a pretty cool facility. The place was all run down and crashing, and watching Matt Mingay and all them guys do some of them stunts was pretty good.
We'll talk a little bit more about that at a later date, but Rob, it's been an incredible category, Pro Slammer.
Yeah, Pro Slammer's just been absolutely setting records everywhere. And you have a look at the key points this weekend, I think. AC Delco, well, they sponsor Mark Valeri. He is the defending champion and he's at the AC Delco East Coast Thunder. I mean, and a very important race for him, for his sponsor, and he has to get his championship race back on track because he's a long way down the points. We've got new drivers and tuners coming from the USA. We've got female driver in the form of Michelle Davies. It's going to be great to see a girl back in the field. The Mustang they've got's absolutely brilliant. And we've got some new engines coming into the category with these 4.9 spacing Noonans. John Zapier, of course, he's been in the US with the Noonan team running, set a new world record for supercharged sedans at 5.424 seconds. That's critical because Frankie Taylor, 5.47 was the record and that was yours. How do you feel about John Zapier at the moment?
That's good. Just makes it to where we can go, you know, when we did that, the weather was kind of bad and it was 4,000 feet. Whenever he did it was a lot better air. But then we're going to Vegas, I think, here in a few weeks and it'll be still 4,500 feet, but we're going to try to take it back from him.
Here in Australia, of course, you're racing with Team Bray for Gulf Western Oils, a brand new Corvette. How's testing been?
It's going pretty good. I mean, I think we've made 5 laps on it. We went at 5:95, clicking it off a little bit early. So it's coming around. I mean, it's no more yet, but I mean, it's getting pretty close.
Now, with the fact that he's just taking your world record away, how's it going to feel if you line up against John Zapier in eliminations?
I'm going to take his championship away.
You're pretty confident with the car, obviously.
Yes, I'm pretty confident. I'm planning on winning.
That's a nice way to start, nice way to go into the event. I think there's people that'll disagree with him, Jared.
I get the feeling that the man sitting right next to him might have a little something to say about it. Of course, we are talking about one of the newer kids on the block, but he has become a fixture in drag racing and he's definitely set to ruffle some feathers. Paul Mohayet, it's great to have you on. Now, give us the Mohayet story. Where did you come from?
Look, my father and Michael Moit, the owner of Moit's, used to drag race a while ago, way back in Oran Park days, so I used to go and watch them. We came and raced at Eastern Creek, the track right next to us here when we were drag racing there, and I got a drive in his orange Cortina, the WOG 007. It was a street car, went 840s. Had a long time off, probably 10 years out of drag racing. And then he rang me one day and said, let's buy a race car. So I went to the States, bought the 10.5 car that we have now, raced 10.5 for 2 years, 3 years, built a brand new Pro Mod with Tim McCamus race cars, raced over in the States for a while against Frankie, and I had some fun over there. And then, look, turbo racing isn't a big thing here. I tried to make it happen, but it's really difficult to make everybody move. So we made the choice to switch to door slammer.
The issues with acceptance pushed you into the more mainstream category of Pro Slammer. How have you found that so far? I mean, we saw the Nitro Up North event. You're sitting second in the points after the first show. It's got to be good.
Yeah, look, it's definitely exciting. We actually get to race instead of going to national events and putting on exhibition passes. So it's exciting for the team. We've got some sponsors on board: Mack Trucks, Komatsu, Proline Racing, Moits, of course, that own the whole deal. So look, we're having fun, and hopefully this weekend we'll be successful.
Frankie, we're seeing more drivers and tuners coming in from the States. What sort of benefits does that give to our local Australian teams here, and how do you benefit coming in from stateside?
I thank the Bray team for having us over, and we get to come over and kind of just nitpick their cars apart and kind of tell them they're heavy and stuff like that, and try to make them to where they work more efficient. Try to make them to where they move forward instead of up in the air, popping wheelies and stuff. And wheelies are cool that Ben used to do, but we're trying to get it to where he can actually put more power to the ground.
I think, Rob, you can attest, it is becoming a more global sport, isn't it, with teams travelling over, like you say, bringing tuners in.
The interchange has always been there on the end of the phone or the end of an email, but now the internationalisation of the sport with John Zappia racing in the States. Ben, you did US Nationals at Indy in Pro Mod. Your father, Victor, he put Top Door Slammer on the map. Basically was very instrumental in getting it established. 6 championships. Then you've come in and you haven't done too badly yourself with your record in both Pro Slammer and in Pro Elkie.
Yeah, no, I've had a pretty good, successful career thanks to my family and my great sponsors that have supported me from the day I started driving the cars. But Dad and Mum, Dad gave me a pretty big opportunity when I was 17 years old. I grabbed the bull by the horns and I won my first ever national event I even entered. So, lucky, good, whatever it is, I'll take it all. Since then, I've won 3 more championships. I've been involved in world records, ran world records, got to meet a whole lot of great people. Been a pretty big thing for Team Bray to always want Frank to come over and hang out with us and even tune one of our cars, but actually get him to sit in the seat in one and drive it. It's been pretty cool. So I'm pretty lucky.
Your dad Victor's not racing this weekend, getting over some health issues. We're looking forward to seeing him back in the car later. But how much extra strain has this put on you, not only at the track but in the workshop?
Yeah, life in general has been hard. Dad's always been Team Bray's rock, been Ben, Marie, both my sisters. Dad's always fixed all the problems in life, found the money, made everything work. Dad being bed rested and handing the reins over to me has been a pretty hard road. Not just anything, like I can build motors, race cars, set up, unpack, do whatever, but financing a business, answering all these phone calls and emails for the last 3 months, trying to keep the ball rolling, keep Gulf Western, Century Batteries, all them guys happy and just keep it on board and make sure they don't let Dad's legacy die and go low while he's out for a couple of months. But he'll be back bigger, better than ever, and hopefully driving the car that Frank's sitting in.
Well, Pro Slammer, of course, we're talking 16 cars and quality cars here this weekend. It's a wide open field. One big talking point though, no Gary Phillips. The series leader isn't here this event. Spoke to Gary, he's planning on coming back at the next event, but this opens the door for everyone, doesn't it?
Yeah, it definitely does. Gary Phillips is a great icon to our sport, but when you've raced for 30, 40 years like he has with sponsorship money, to go back and start spending your own money, it's very hard. Gary's not a young man anymore, so I don't think he can just go out and get a $200,000 job and just keep racing these cars. So Gary puts in the hard yards. Him and Shane will be out there chasing sponsors in corporate world right now, and it is a shame to have him here because when you're leading that championship in Pro Slammer, it's a big thing to let go, not turn up, because you pretty much just put yourself in 5th or 7th position by the end of this event.
Well, JMac 16 cars, that's a really significant thing for this event, isn't it?
It's huge. Normally we're only used to seeing the 8-car field. This means that unless someone goes deep or runs the beams 3 times in qualifying, we will see everyone racing, which I think is fantastic. It's been a long time since we've had an oversubscribed double field.
There's new names in there as well. Steve Ham from the Pro Elkie field coming into Slammer. He's been doing some testing. Michelle Davies in the Mustang. Great to see the female aspect in there as well, as we spoke about earlier. But across this week, Paul, you've been out testing. There's been some other quick cars out there as well. There's been some big numbers run.
Yeah, there certainly has. We've been pretty consistent testing, and then Scotty McLean came out with Darren Mayer, and look, they've always been fast since he started. Scotty certainly run the ball up. and he got his stuff together this weekend, and yesterday went a 63. So you got to remember the national record's a 63, so that's no slouch. So, you know, like every other class, there's always someone fast, and everybody wants to catch them. So it's really good for the sport. I think the class is growing, and it's great for all of us.
Well, the record's 63 for how long?
Let's see how the track is this weekend. I assure you that if the track's really good, somebody will take it.
Elimination starting at 1 o'clock on Saturday, but I honestly think qualifying is going to be where we see the most action. Ben, have you guys got anything left on the table?
Oh, we got a ton in the tank. Like Frank was just saying before, that our cars, me and Dad make the horsepower. We can tune the cars quite easily. Transferring over to my new Corvette, it's got a pretty good chassis and all that under it. And I've been struggling for probably the last 12 months to get the car to lead nice, do the 60 foots that Paul and them guys can do. So Frank and his team have come in and I would say turn my car upside down, cut it up, did whatever. I gave them all free range and to fix it. And you know, the first hit yesterday went 580 and pretty soft tune, pretty soft setup. Just wanted to make sure the car went straight and fast down the middle. And you know, I believe I can give Paul and Zap and Scotty and all them guys a run for their money. I wouldn't be here otherwise.
Frankie, have you got a goal coming into tomorrow's qualifier?
Yeah, someone try to get in the top 5 and, you know what I'm saying, turn the wing lights on Saturday.
Sounds good. It's a nice solid plan.
Yeah.
Paul, the Moitz and Mac team, it looks incredible after the recent rebrand. I've got to say, you guys definitely have the performance to back it up. I'll ask you the same question. Have you guys got anything left on the table?
Yeah, look, I got Billy Stockel on board. My crew work really hard, and this is all new to us. We've come from turbo racing, and we knew nothing about blower cars. So, you know, Billy and Ty Totaro certainly steered my guys in the right direction. I've had to readjust the way I drive to a blower car. We stage differently. The car reacts differently. I've got to shift gears now. I never used to have to in a turbo car. Ben thinks that's hilarious.
All 5 of them.
Yeah, but yeah.
Get a joystick though.
But look. Have we got any more left in the tank? The car went a 58 4 or 5 weeks ago. The track was really good. The air was good. The track hasn't been so good this week. So, look, can we repeat? We're definitely going to try if the track's there.
I'm speaking on all behalf of the Dorset drivers. I hope his tank's empty.
Feeling a little hot under the collar. Paul, give us your predictions for Slammer this weekend.
It's definitely going to be exciting. 16 car field. I think it's really good for the class. I think, like somebody mentioned before, we should always have a 16 car field because the guys that run 6.0s, 590s that will stay home because it's only an 8 car field will now travel and you know it just makes it a lot better for the crowd, for the sport. Prediction: Frankie ain't going to win. I'll make sure of that. But look, who knows? You never know what's going to happen. You know, the fastest car certainly isn't always going to win the meeting. So we'll see what happens.
Frankie, same question. What's your prediction?
I'm going to win this thing. We ain't got the fastest car, but I mean, with the brake horsepower we got, it's going to do pretty good. And yeah, I mean, I got, you know, the stuff they had laying around. I ain't got the good motor like he does. I just got the junk that was in the floor, I think.
Ben, wrap us up. What's your take on this weekend?
I'd only be lying if I didn't say I'd turn up to win every race. Second place doesn't exist in my eyes. Runner-up's just the first loser. So if you want to be a loser, come second, third or fourth. First place, I've got 2 cars. Dream for Dad, Team Bray Golf Western would be to have the 2 79 Corvettes in the final together and make Paul sit there and watch. I wouldn't even mind him backing me up.
We're going to have these guys back the day after the event and we'll find out where all of the trash talk went. And Jared, we're going to be at the track right across the weekend.
Absolutely. We're going to be at the AC Delco East Coast Thunder event here at Sydney Dragway, live streaming on OVO. So make sure you tune in there. If you are coming to the track, panelshow.tv, we're going to be hosting a driver signage and selfie session. So we'd love to have you down there. We want to see all your photos of you enjoying yourself at the races. This has been Down the Track. Thank you very much from Rob and myself, J-Mate.